Hello everyone, so today I'm here to do a new video, and this is totally copied from Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, and it's one of her In Deep Conversation series of videos. So she came up with this idea that when she buddy reads a book with someone, she would make a video about the book, asking some questions to her buddy reader, and then her buddy reader will make a video answering and asking more questions, and then she will go back and do a video answering those questions again. And I think it's a brilliant way to talk to your buddy reader about the book you read in a way that is available for everybody. So I reached out to her and asked if we could copy this idea because Rainier and I have been reading together The Great Offshore Grounds by Vanessa Veselka, and we were thinking about how to do this and how to talk about it. So Sarah was kind enough to say yes, we can use this idea, so that's what we are going to do. So this is the first video on that series. I'm going to give a bit of an overview of the book, and then I'm going to ask some questions to Rainier, and then Rainier will post a video answering those questions and asking more questions to me, and then I will make another video answering Rainier's questions. I hope that the format is clear, but yeah, again, thank you so much to Sarah for coming up with this idea and letting us use it. Thank you so much. So yeah, The Great Offshore Grounds. This is a book. It's like an epic road trip adventure story based on the US, and it's centered around these two sisters, Libby and Cheyenne, and they are going to, as the book starts, they are going to their father's wedding, and they knew that their mother was not the mother of both of them. It seems that there was another woman that had a baby from this man at around the same time, and when they go to their father's wedding, the father tells them the name of this woman that one of them is the daughter of. So that brings a bunch of events into place for these two women and the way they see themselves. Libby is supposed to be the more grounded one, the one that knows better what she's doing, and she has a flat and so on, and then Cheyenne is more of the crazy free spirit. When they meet, they find that Cheyenne doesn't really have a place to stay, so she starts staying with Libby, but Libby at some point grows wary of her, so Cheyenne moves out and she decides to go in a trip to find this woman that she believes might be her mother. And we follow these two sisters and the relationship with the woman that bring them up, Christine, and then also the other woman that they think might be the mother of one of them, with Justine, and also their step sibling. So there is also this man, Essex, and he was adopted by Christine when he was around 17, so they are sort of step siblings, but not really, because Essex is, well, he came into the family when they were already kind of old, so the relationship is a bit strange. But yeah, it follows all these people, and it's very character driven. So we explore the relationship between these characters and their growth as people and their identity, but at the same time it's also very twisty, because we are never sure about the relationships between all these people, and they constantly change and they constantly come up with different things that happen. And I think that combination of a character driven story but at the same time plot twist about the characters themselves is really, really smart, and I really liked that the way that they did that. So these women grew up very poor, and they are struggling to figure out what to do with their lives and how to act in this society, because this is very centered in America. As I said, Cheyenne goes into a road trip and she goes from Seattle to North Carolina, I think, whereas Livy is having issues with her job, so she decides also to enroll in a fishing boat that goes from Seattle to Alaska. So it really covers a big chunk of the United States. And as we discover these places, every single place, we also discover the relation with these places with the poverty that these women bring and the vulnerability that causes, but also with the fact that they are women. This is a very feminist novel, and it shows how women are treated when they decide to make their own choices, which I think it's brilliant. And it also defies the idea that women have to be mothers, and when they are mothers that their whole life, especially with Justine, the woman that supposedly had one of these babies, and then she decided that she was going to leave it in the care of Christine and go live her life. But also through Christine, because sometimes she regrets this decision to take both kids, even though she completely loves them. And I think that's defiance of the norms that we so often put on women was great. And these characters are all very flawed, but at the same time you get to care about them and you get to love them in a way, because they are so complex and they feel so real that you really get drawn to them. So really like that. The only thing that this book doesn't explore too much is the topic of race. It's mentioned a couple of times here and there, but it is not very explored. So if you're looking for that side of things, you're not going to find it in this book, but you will really find the exploration of the feminine experience and the poverty experience. So yeah. I also found very interesting that there were several references to Moby Dick. The title itself refers to this area of very good fishing, and that's I think it's also mentioned in Moby Dick. And with Livy being in a boat, it really has that feeling, a similar feeling to Moby Dick, I will say, in some aspects. So that was very interesting to see those comparisons. I'm not sure if I got all of the references to that, because even though I have read Moby Dick, I read it when I was like 15 or something, so I don't remember a lot of the stuff. But it definitely does go back to that story, and connects all back together. And another reference that we find in this book is that sense that Cheyenne is connected to the earth. I mean, she goes into the road trip and she explores the land of the US, whereas Livy decides to go into the boat. So she represents more of the water and the sea essence of the US. And I found that quite interesting in several levels. I think that also the names kind of relate to that, right? Cheyenne, it's a Native American tribe, and they do have a big connection to the land. But at the same time, it's interesting because normally I think that in our society we relate water with a more free, unpredictable spirit, and the earth and something more grounded and something more solid, whereas I think that Livy is the more grounded one of the two. So it flips that references and it's on itself, and I think that is a very interesting references that she's woven into the story. So yeah, I think that overall this book explores so many things, and the story itself was compelling, the characters were compelling, and they felt really real, and the writing was beautiful as well. So I want to read a small part, and they were talking about the drilling platforms that Livy found when she went into the boat. The quote goes like this: "They are all over," said the captain, who had come up behind her. "I've never heard anything about them." "What happens out here is invisible," he said. The idea of something so massive going totally unseen made Livy lightheaded. A whale to the side of the boat slapped the water with its tail and dived. Sir Walter Riley took shape beside her. He raised his hand in the air in a gesture of delight. "Their heads are full of money and land." Then his face fell and he dropped his hand. "Not a whale, only history." He clicked his tongue. "Disappear." Waves rippled out from where the whale had not sounded. On the surface, a rainbow slick of oil undulating on the water. So yeah, you can see how descriptively beautiful the writing is, but at the same time, it fits perfectly with the story and the imagery that the author is trying to compel. So yeah, overall, I think this is a great experience. I think Rainier also liked the book, but I will love to hear more in depth of that. And the questions I have for you, Rainier. So the first one is, what did you think about the characters? Did you like them? Did you connect with them? There were some that you thought they could have been developed more, or you found them all equally interesting? Let me know. And the second question I have for you is, what did you think about the portrait of America that this book gives? Not only in the landscape, which I'm sure you can talk about, but also about the aspects of feminism and poverty and motherhood, and the topics that this book touches with relation with the American experience and the American dream. I would also love to know what you think about how the American dream is portrayed in this book. And lastly, I would like to know, what did you think about the title? Did you think that it fit well? And the reference to Moby Dick and other references to other literary figures, did you find them interesting, or did you think they were out of place? I would love to know. And yeah, I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this book. I myself really like it, and I'm also looking forward to your questions. So yeah, if you like this video, let me know in the comments below. If you read this book, what did you think about it? And until next video, bye!